Change. The whole scholarly world, through many centuries, teaches the people, saying, change your thoughts to change yourself. But actually, the truth is vice versa. Only if you change yourself, your thoughts will change. There are so many volumes and volumes of books written by so many scholars, analysts, psychologists, celebrities, priests, leaders, and the like, all who preach the same thing over and over again to the youngsters and to all the people of the world, saying, bring change in your thoughts so that you will change. They say, if you are a non-believer of anything, then change your thoughts and start having belief. If you are a fearful person, then change your thoughts from fear to bravery. If you have destructive thoughts, then exchange it for constructive thoughts, and so on. Can a mere exchange of thoughts literally transform oneself? If this logic were practically true, then the whole world will not be in such a mess and chaos. If a person's thoughts are negative, fearful, destructive, agitative, stressful, and so on, that means that person's being is negative, perhaps at that particular situation or as a whole. Thoughts are the outcome of a being. Only if the being changes, thoughts will change, not vice versa. Have you ever seen that a person is always the same person in their being throughout their life? Their thoughts, views, approach, anger, self-sympathy, all will be the same. Even if they change their thoughts and views, it will not last longer, since it is their being which handles it once again. Depression, frustration, happiness to things is of course due to their thoughts, views, and approach. But those thoughts, views, and approach are due to their particular form of being. How can one classify the being? While you are sleeping, your being is in a state of sleep. That is, you are in a state of sleep. Thoughts which flow out of you will be in accordance with your state of being, which is sleep. You can't control your dreams because your being is in a sleepy state. While your being is in a semi-sleep state, then thoughts or dreams will change itself accordingly. While your being is in deep sleep, then thoughts will not occur to you. If a person is affected by a virus, then her or his thoughts would turn abnormal. If a person is so joyful, he would forgive his enemies at that moment. If a person has consumed alcohol, then his thoughts' outflow will be different. It is the state of being which determines one's thoughts. As everybody or beings, each and every human being differ in state. That state can never be defined or deciphered by a normal mind, even though it is erudite. What then shall one decide upon now in this context is, how should one transform one's own state of being so that eventually one's thoughts change? Conversely, if one starts from changing the thoughts, one will never end in changing one's being. A negative person who is filled up with negative thoughts and emotions, if becomes more and more conscious, her or his being changes into positive being. And from there, her or his thoughts, views, approaches, anger, self-sympathy and the like would turn positive. It is the center which is in rift. Its expression is the circumference, which are thoughts. How could one become more conscious? Are there any steps, any chemicals, any prayer, any recitals, or any knowledge? The only path which leads the contemporary human being to the conscious state easily without much difficulty, directly without indirectly, truly without hypothetically, is the path of one's own body. If there is a wound in your palm, and if somebody touches it slightly, that very touch will cause you pain. If that wound is pressed a bit, it causes you much pain. The pain is due to that wound, not due to somebody's touch or press. You argue that since it is touched by the other, it caused you pain. But indeed, your wound is the real reason. If you cure that wound, then others' touch or even a very good handshake will never cause you pain. Similarly, now our being is in such a wounded state that it brings all the negative thoughts, emotions and sufferings when encountered even a slight touch of situations in life. That touch may be of others' words, failure in some endeavor, not getting the expected, or some other situations alike. Therefore, how could our being be cured and changed so that eventually our thoughts and views change? One's own body is that path. No mental path will help. No assumptions, no prayers, no recitals, no knowledge, no yogic steps will possibly change a human being. And when a human being encounters a change in their being through the path of their own body, that changed being will know what is the real prayer, real recitals, real steps, real contemplation, and real knowledge. From there on, one's wound is cured and path is cleared. To change your being, see your real physical body's reactions and its silence both. See too how your physical face and body is reacting to a situation. Be with the expressions of your physical face and body only. Or, when your mind talks by itself creating its own dialogues, see the gap between two words that your mind utters. You will feel an alive, silent consciousness. When the mind starts talking again, you again and again see the gap between two words. That gap will automatically start extending itself. That gap is the divine. Be with it.